Hey, we're going to talk about pregnancy and chiropractic and why it can be so amazing during your pregnancy. I think that pregnancy could be one of the most amazing times in a woman's life, but all those aches and pains, the sleepless nights, those things really get in the way, and you don't want to take drugs while you're pregnant, which begs the question, if you can't take it while you're pregnant, why would anybody want to take it in the first place? But that's a different topic for a different time. But we're going to talk about power, pathway, and passenger, the three P's when it comes to why anyone would get adjusted during pregnancy. So first, let's talk about the power aspect. So come over here and take a look at this. And this is an anatomical chart of the nerve system, and the sacral plexus here is the area where the nerve supply, it's like the electrical system in the body, goes and it connects with all the organs of the body, especially the uterus. So we want a good power supply, so free of interference from this area to the uterus when it comes to time for delivery. So when people are told that they're failing to progress in labor, it could be that there is a misalignment in this area, a subluxation, which is limiting the power supply from this area to the uterus so that those contractions can ramp up and increase in intensity in order to help deliver the baby. Now, we don't induce labor, but what we do is make sure that the nerve system is free of any interference to that area so that when it does come time for labor and delivery, either at a birth center or at home or in the hospital, then that power supply is at its peak performance. And really that's what chiropractic is all about, is optimizing your potential and increasing the amount of connections that you can have from your nervous system to your body. So your brain sending the signals, the brain to the body. Now the other thing that's really important is the pathway. So if you look at a model of the spine. So look, this is the pelvic outlet here. So when you look at that now, people, when we walk, the hips move just a little bit back and forth. So if you have a misalignment in the hips where the muscles are neurologically being facilitated so that it's actually stuck in like a torqued pattern like this, it actually can decrease that pelvic inlet. And this is a model, so it's not perfect, but you can get the idea. If this is shifted like that and stuck into a pressure like that, then you're actually going to decrease the pelvic outlet. Not to mention that these joints here can cause a great amount of pain, and I can't tell you how many pregnant moms I've had come in and they've been told they have sciatica, but it's actually a sacroiliac joint misalignment here. And so we go and we gently adjust that, and when we get that to release, it's just magical how much that can just, I've had moms that couldn't stand on their leg, and then we adjust that and they can, they're kind of, just movement is restored and pain is reduced. So that's the pathway aspect. We want to make sure that as you progress, the pelvic outlet is not rotated, because it'll decrease the baby's ability to move through the birth canal. Now lastly, we want to talk about the passenger, because that's baby and what's called is uterine constraint. So if the uterus should be like a hot air balloon, and it has strings that attach called the round ligament and the broad ligaments, those are ligaments that attach to the uterus. Now the round ligament, it actually has muscle fibers in it, and it stretches to 18 inches throughout pregnancy. The little tiny ligament goes from really small to 18 inches, and we want those ligaments to be balanced on both sides, and they attach to the pelvis. So when we have them, if the pelvis is out of alignment, again, then you're going to have the uterus not be a hot air balloon that's right in the middle like this. It could be tilted to one side or the other. And as you get further along, baby already doesn't have very much room anyway, so they get stuck in a position. Imagine sleeping in one position for 3 months at a time. That's how babies can feel toward the end of pregnancy. So we want to make sure that we're just stacking the deck in our favor so that baby has as much room as possible to not get postural distortion pattern inside. And then adjusting the hips and releasing those ligaments is a great way to do that for your unborn baby. So that's pathway, power, and passenger, or power, pathway, and passenger. And that's just some of the reasons why moms choose to get adjusted throughout their whole entire pregnancy. So stay tuned for extra tips and stay awesome.